Hello guys, I am Paramveer Singh. I am an Android developer and trainer. I have 6 years of experience in mobile application development. You can get my profile at practicalcoding.in/Paramveer. Today we will talk about the very basics of Android. So let's start about the journey of Android. Android was developed by Google in 2007, and the first public version of Android was released in 2009. The code name was 1.5 Cupcake. Current version is Marshmallow. The version is 6.0. Major contributors in Android development are Samsung, LG, Vodafone, and other companies. These are all the major manufacturers, smartphone manufacturers, as well as the network carriers. They all form a community called Open Handset Alliance (OHA), which is headed by Google. So this is the first phone in Android. This was called Google Ion. It was released in 2009 with the release of Google 1.5 Cupcake. Interestingly, all the Android versions are alphabetically ordered, and also all the names of Android versions are named after a desert. For example, 1.5 was named after Cupcake, then came Donut, then Eclair, Froyo, Gingerbread, Honeycomb, Ice Cream Sandwich, Jelly Bean, Kit Kat, Lollipop. And the current version is Marshmallow. Let's talk about how an app works. In an Android phone, multiple applications can run simultaneously. They all run independently of each another. Although they can communicate with each another, they can share resources, they can share database, but they all are independent of each another and they all run in a separate process. Every application is assigned a unique ID and a separate process. Every application has a set of activities. Activities are what we call screens in Android. So for every screen in Android application, we create an activity. Activity is a Java class where we write our Java logic for handling UI as well as for handling database, for getting data from network and showing the data in UI. The concept of permissions is also important in Android. Each application is granted a permission for critical features like internet, SMS, and location, etc. For starting Android development, we primarily need two things. One is Java, another is Android Studio. Java is our programming language, and Android Studio is the official IDE of Android. We'll talk about Android Studio in detail later. If you haven't installed Android Studio in your systems yet, please do that because it is must have for starting Android development. Please install Android Studio in your systems. Let's talk about the first application, Hello World application in Android. For creating every application, we need at least these three basic components: activity, manifest file, and layouts. As I told you, activity is what we call screens in Android. So for creating every screen, we will create a Java class by extending activity. Activity is where we will write our Java logic for handling UI and another things. Manifest file is an XML file. Every application has single manifest file with the name of Android manifest.xml, and in this file we declare all our important components, including activities, which constitute an Android application. Layout files are the UI files, UI XML files, where we create our screen UI. The layout files is where we will put our text views, our buttons, our progress bar, and others. So this is a three-step process. First is declare in manifest file, then create activity, and then create layout. And then finally, we will attach that layout to that a particular activity to show that UI in that activity. This is how an Android project looks like in Android Studio. For now, only the highlighted portions are important. The first one at the top is the name of the project. Then there is SRC folder. It represents source. In source, we have all our Java classes and packages declared. And then res folder. Res represent resources. Resources is where we will declare all our images, audio, video files, and other resources like strings and colors. Then here it is Android manifest file. Android manifest file is where we will declare our application name, the theme of the application, and activities. Activity. This is how a typical activity looks like. This is the smallest form of the activity. So public class main activity extends activity. So every activity that we will create will have to extend either the activity class or any derived class of the activity. On create function, on create method. On create method is the first method which is called when an activity comes to foreground. When we open a screen in an Android application, the first method that will be called in that activity is the onCreate method. This line here, set content view r.layout.activity main. This is what we use for declaring or for linking a layout file to a particular activity. So here I have linked this activity underscore main layout file with main activity. I'll show you the layout file also. Layouts. We have mainly two layouts, linear layout and relative layout. Linear layout we use when we have to align all the view components in either horizontally or in vertical fashion. And relative layout is where when we have to give a relative position of a particular view component to either its parent or any other view component. We will go into detail of the layouts in next session. And here this is manifest file. In manifest file we declare application name, activities, application theme, application icon, and other application components. This is how a typical manifest file looks like. At the top is the manifest tag, and here I have declared the package pom.example, and then the version code of the application, version name of the application. This is uses SDK. We can ignore this for now. Now this is the main tag application. Here we declare all the application related attributes like the label, is it debuggable or not, the icon of the application, and here we are declaring activity with the name and the label of this activity. Intent filter, we can, although intent filter is very important concept, we can ignore it for now. And then other Android application components like services, receivers, and providers. So we have come to a point where we want to know why we want to learn Android. Why not any other technology? So I'll give you three major factors. One is this is the highest paying technology in India. This is one of the highest paying technology in India, uh, as compared to Java, .NET, PHP, and others. So with 1 or 2 years of experience, you can get a very good package, even while joining also. And also, number two is a lot of career opportunities are there in Android. A lot of organizations are making Android apps for their business or for other businesses, and they need a lot of Android developers for them. Number three is freshers are in very high demand because Android is a relatively new technology. They don't have many experienced developers. I'm sorry. So they are hiring freshers. So this was all about the very basic introduction of Android. I hope you like this session. Thank you. Thank you very much.